Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University here. Anyway, uh, okay, so you might notice the headset. Got a new little thing going on. Also, I added some lightsabers. See, I do the whole Jedi thing once in a while, but in reality, okay, this way, I am more of a bounty hunter than anything else. So I added a couple lightsabers to my wall. More Jedis I have killed. So anyway, just it's my Star Wars game. It's funny the game I played lately is a Jawa. Okay, so let's get into some comic book news, my peeps, shall we? First off, I said I would talk about the Infinity War trailer, and I will also be talking about the Deadpool situation that's going on. Just as a quick heads up, I started doing a new series called On the Horizon. And what this basically is me talking about what happens, what's coming up in the future. Hey, what's going on, Dick? Hey, Ramen s.h.i.e.l.d. You're new. Not new, but yeah, it's me. I'm using my dad's account. Okay. Okay, cool, man. Hey, congratulations on getting your driver's license recently. Was it permit or license? I think it was your driver's license. Grats, man. Yeah, okay, Thanos. Okay, so anyways, just really quick, the On the Horizons that I've got coming up, I just recently did a discussion about Stan Lee recently. I also did On the Horizon for Luke Cage and what I'm expecting with Misty Knight. She's got a robotic arm now. And I also did an On the Horizon for Superman, more specifically the Action Comics issue number 1000. By the way, how's my voice sound, guys? Like, does it sound like a tin can? Because that's what it was suggested it sounds like, but... Anyway, I'm in a small room, so always working on my sound. So I'm going to be doing two more On the Horizons, and they're going to come out on Monday. So look forward to that on Monday. Thank you, Jeffrey Lane. I appreciate that, and welcome to Comic Book University, where tuition is always free. So let's talk about the Infinity War trailer. All right, Dick Fillmore's on there. He's like, dude, you need to be doing a reaction trailer. I don't do reaction trailers anymore because this is what reaction trailers always look like. And I can't do that, man. I can't. I just feel too silly doing something like that. And I used to. I did like a couple of them. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing that. Plus, people are dumb when they get online. Like, I started doing that as a way to get some people to come over and see what I do on my channel. But you know what happens? They're like, thank you, Dick. Oh, I don't actually have to repeat what you guys are doing now because they got the new thing where it'll permanently keep up everything that's in the chat from now on when you go back and watch this on replay. So that is probably the best feature YouTube has ever done for us live chat guys. How would I introduce Defenders in the MCU, by the way, channel? By the way, nice channel, I guess. Thank you. I'll get to that, Jeffrey. I will get to that. But for this, your reaction for today. Okay, so look. Let's just get into this. I thought the trailer was really cool. I thought that it was like, wow. At the same time, I wasn't any more wowed than I was already wowed beforehand. This just literally gave me a couple extra things, I look at I guess that, yeah, you technically need a second trailer, you know what I'm saying? Because the movie's coming out in April. Geez, the end. It's coming out in about 5 weeks now, guys. 5 weeks. Can you believe that? 5 more weeks. So look both ways before you cross the street. Okay. Make sure you're eating as healthy as you possibly can. Quit smoking, all that stuff, dude. Because 5 more weeks, man, and then another year till the next one. Anyway, look, they're never gonna stop. They're never gonna stop. But I think that in some ways I may be which is bad for my channel, right? But I may be dealing with a little bit of superhero on the big screen overload. All right, I love my comics. I've always loved my comics. I'm down with my comics, but I didn't even realize that Jessica Jones. When I did my podcast last Saturday, that messed up one where it was all like, my player wasn't working. I didn't realize that Jessica Jones had already dropped on Netflix. I didn't even realize it because there's just so much superhero information coming in today that it's like it's genuinely overload. So last night I finally sat down and watched the first 3 episodes. I watched it with my wife. She liked it. I liked it. It's good. It's just yeah, there's too much superhero stuff coming in, you know? So, eh. You got your tickets already, Dick. Dude, I gotta do that. Okay, yeah, I gotta do that. Is it boring to you? All right. And is it weird that Gal is doing Domino and Plastic Man and Marvel and DC? No, I think that's awesome. She did not sign an exclusive contract, and she was genius for doing so. I saw that Spike Lee may be directing Night Watch. In fact, prepare. That is probably going to be my Tuesday explained in a minute, because I think that most people are like, Night Watch, what? Like, I think more people know Night Thrasher than they know Night Watch. So that will, heads up. There you go. There's my explained in a minute for this coming Tuesday. Um, so as far as looking at this trailer, yes, it was beautiful. It was everything I expected it to be. Seeing that scene where, like, to me, the coolest scene was, it was nice. I got to see what the actual characters look like, the Black Watch, the Black Order, excuse me, what the Black Order gets to look like. That was very important, to see what they're going to look like. So you got that heads up, and it's not like you're seeing it for the first time on the big screen. You're like, oh yeah, not so great, right? Oh, hey, I did a little bit of a change on my scenario up here. Anybody impressed? I am. I love what can you see? Oh, there you go. There you go. Now you can see it. Okay. I forgot the shape of the direction of the camera. So yeah, Superman versus Thanos. With a little bit of backup from Lex Luthor and Firestorm up there, and Mistress Death in the background. And Kellic is gonna mess with Mistress Death. So, well, I'm gonna add some more stuff there eventually. Just for now, I thought it was kind of fun. So the coolest part was seeing Captain America versus Thanos, because my biggest thing for me, the scene that I like, there's two scenes I've got to see, and I don't necessarily need to see the second scene in this movie, but definitely by the second, depending on what the second movie is going to show. I'm hoping to see here the scene that I really want to see more than most. Okay, just look, I'm a Captain America fan. I need to see Superman versus Superman. I'm a Captain America fan. I need to see Captain America versus Thanos. Okay, if you ever read the Infinity Gauntlet, that miniseries that came out, there's a scene. Well, there's first off the big scene where everybody's fighting against Thanos. Everybody goes to attack, and everybody just gets the floor wiped with them. I'm gonna have to do a spotlight and story on Infinity Gauntlet. Shoot, and I need to do it like yesterday, don't I? Wow. Okay, so that's probably gonna be my spotlight and story this coming Saturday. Just heads up. I'm probably gonna have to do that. And I got so many others on backlog, man. I got a nice Superman one I'm waiting to put out. Oh well, whatever. So, crap. There's where all the heroes go after it, and the Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock are waiting in the wings, and they're like, okay, wait for the perfect opportunity when Thanos is truly distracted, so we go up and try and nab that gauntlet away from him. And all the heroes are going for it, and Captain America's there, and he's guiding everybody. You do this, you do this, you do, and some of them listen, some of them don't. Shame, because they're all going to die anyway, but that was kind of the purpose. And the really sad part about it is, I know it's a 90s comic book and it's hard to really feel a lot of emotion for that, but yeah, Jim Starlin has a really impressive way of telling a story that even though the art is really bright, he can still make it dark. He can make the writing very dark. So Captain America actually knows he's not told that he's sending everybody in to die, but he figures it out because he's Captain America. So after everybody's dead, Thanos is like, yeah, about to claim victories, about to start doing some X-Pac chop blocks, and all that stuff. And Captain America's like, there's still, as long as there's still one man ready to fight for his freedom, you haven't won. And they're just like, well, then I guess you're about to die. And they walk towards each other. And Thanos is Thanos. Like, he's got a big chin to begin with. But Captain America's got that lantern jaw. And he kind of, well, not really, but he sticks that chin out. And he just goes walking forward. And he's got his shield out. And it's just, like, that he's about to die. And he goes up. And he actually survives, for longer than you expected to. But it's an amazing scene. And it's not the first time that we've seen his shield shatter necessarily, but it's probably the first time that most people have seen his shield shatter. And Thanos just literally doop, backhands his shield, and it boom explodes all over the place. Worse than what the Beyonder was able to do, which is interesting, right? Um, but it was a hell of a scene. And Captain America's like, I'm not standing down because the mission comes first, and even if I have to put my life on the line. So when I saw that scene, I know that Kevin Feige is looking at us, almost like he's looking down from heaven. No, he's looking at us and he's saying, I know what the fans need, and I'm going to give them something to that effect. So seeing him go hand in hand, just like grapple that Infinity Gauntlet. Oh my God, I am that scene. It was the only scene out of all the cool scenes that were in there. I was like, oh, cool. That scene, I'm like, they're going to take care of us. See, I want. There was a time I want you guys to think about something, and I know I'm not paying attention to the chat. Sorry, I'll go back and I'll look at it. But there was a time when right before Sony was going to buy. This just came out 2 weeks ago. I talked about this on the podcast. You may have seen this in the news. It wasn't like a huge story, but it was something. There was a moment where Sony had the opportunity. They bought Spider-Man, the Spider-Man franchise, for $10 million, and there was a chance. 10 million or billion? It would have been million, right? Can't remember. Anyway, I think it was just million. They had the opportunity to spend 15 million more, so 150% more of what they were already going to spend to get the rest of the entirety of the Marvel Universe. Can you imagine? So we sit down today like, wow, that was a stupid move, man. They should have done that. Today, it's easy to say that. Hindsight's always 2020. Back in the day, you'd probably say, yeah, no. But me to this day, I still say, no, I'm glad it didn't happen for obvious reasons. You see, today we get to look at scenes like I just mentioned, which are just, are we actually going to see this in the movies? Today, we're actually going to see, in my lifetime, we get to see scenes like so-and-so. Wow. These scenes being acted out on screen that we saw in the comic books and just fell in love with was like, oh my God. But imagine if Sony would have done this, knowing what Sony puts out. Okay, some of their movies are pretty good, some of their Spider-Man properties are pretty good, but some of them not so, right? So, anyway, uh, when you when Sony, and even Fox, but when Sony especially does something, they'll put like a little cheap thing in there to make us like a what's it called? Not a spoiler. Crap, what do they call it? They'll put in that little thing in there that'll make us go, oh wow, look, that was for the fans. Just this little tiny thing, like let me give you an example, okay, of what I think that Sony would have done. Sony probably would not have made a Captain America movie. All right, Sony would have gifted us a Captain America sneak peek. Okay, Sony would have done something like, here's one of their Spider-Man movies, or the fantastic. They would have definitely done an X-Men movie, and they would have done these movies, and we'd have looked at it, and all of a sudden there would have been like a little Captain America flyer. You know how Sony and Marvel together did the Captain America on TV, doing the little scenes in Homecoming? That was cute, right? Imagine that, but even less so, like a Captain America poster. Or somebody's got the garbage can lid with the Captain America symbol pointed on it, whatever, something to that effect. I would imagine a whole lot more of that, and trying to see what are fans' reactions to these little Easter eggs. There, that's the term I'm looking for. These little Easter eggs, right? All of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if it were owned by Sony, would have been Easter eggs. That's it. Easter eggs. Not scenes from the movie played out in real life in great detail like Marvel does. No. They'd have been silly little Easter eggs, Be watching Spider-Man swing through, and then there's a poster with Captain America on the, billboard with Captain America in the background. Be like, oh, hey, did you see that? Did you see that? It'd be kind of like the way that we look at the Stan Lee cameos. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we really dodged a bullet by Sony not actually purchasing the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, before I start getting into there, let's talk really quick about Deadpool. There's some news about Deadpool that Okay, first off, this dude, I don't remember his name, but this dude went on Twitter and he says, I heard that some people who were in the not the premiere, but the early viewing, the test audience, there you go, for Deadpool were really upset. I heard that they were really upset. Wow, interesting. So for the most part, you just think, okay, whatever. I literally looked at it, I was like, yeah, 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 sure, lip service, whatever. But then all of a sudden, Sony, yeah, Fox put out a cease and desist and a threat to sue this guy for saying that. Whoa. See, they've got the embargo thing. Marvel doesn't do the embargo thing as much because they're confident in their product. But Fox and Sony, not so much, especially Fox. Fox is really bad with that. So the second that Fox did that, two things happened. One, I said, that is all the credibility that I need. Now I believe that tweet. Two, idiot. There's no embargo on him. He didn't see the trailer. Or excuse me, he didn't see the movie. He knows some people, apparently. That's what he says. That was it. And now I believe he definitely knows some people who were in the test audience. And they said, no, this is not good. So I completely believe this now, and you can't sue him because he didn't sign any contract. The people who went in for the test audience signed that they wouldn't do any press releases. And if you don't know who these people are who spilled the beans to this guy, how do you sue them? How do you sue anybody? There's no suing. There's no suing here. So your threat to a lawsuit, the only thing it did was make me say this definitely happened. So now this is official. So now Fox realized what they did and they try and turn around and do some damage control. Oh, well, yeah, we're actually, first off, somebody goes and says, oh, yeah, they're actually doing some reshoots now. Whoa, that's actually a big deal. And I didn't necessarily want to believe it, but I believe it enough because of the validity of that prior tweet. So what they do instead, they turn around and they try and do damage control. Look, I'm in marketing. Okay, I'm actually currently in marketing. That's one of the things that I do right now. What do you call it? With technical writing. But I have a degree in marketing. I do continuous education in marketing. My business degree and continuous education in marketing. So yeah, this is my bread and butter. I look at this and I say, this is just damage control. That's all this is, plain and simple. So they realize they shot themselves in the foot, and they're trying to fix this now by saying, well, the only reason why anybody, there was no real complaints. No, nothing to see here. What actually happened was that people just said they want to see more Domino and more Cable. That's it. That's all it is. So we went and we decided we're going to give them some more Domino and Cable. So let me get this straight. They said they wanted to see more Domino and Cable in the Deadpool movie. Okay, here's why I absolutely don't believe that. One, if they didn't already have enough Cable in there, especially when the teaser trailer that they showed us was all about Cable, and you're telling me they only had a little bit of Cable in there? So, by a show of hands, who amongst us actually believes that? There's like a Fox executive someplace. Right, guys? Right? We okay. No. Nobody believes that. No, and there's no reason to believe that. Come on. But as far as more Domino also, so the character who we complained about the most, in fact, the only character we really complained about, the only thing about the trailer that we complained about, the first trailer that we complained about, seeing, what's her name, ZZ Beats or something like that, Zazie Beats, whatever, who cares? This person playing Domino, she doesn't really look like Domino. There's nothing about her that looks like Domino. Even the little thing on her eye, it's like it's reversed. She looks like Spot from Spaceballs. Like, come on, man, are you kidding me? This is what you're trying to pass on as being something amazing? No, epic fail. So I do not believe what they're saying at all. And as far as their reshoots, yeah. So are we all supposed to believe that you hired the writers to come back and create all new scenes to add to a completed story? Really? Because the worst thing you could possibly do is if people say, oh, we wish we could have seen more of such and such, be like, oh, well, you're going to have to see the next one. That's what I would say. You're going to have to wait and see if it happens in part 3. Or we'll do some after credit scenes, saying some extra, we'll change the extra credit scenes or do some extra whatever. But to actually just, here's a completed story, and you're going to say, okay, well, we're going to insert more story in this story. Really? That would be a fail of the epic scale if that's what they were really doing. So no, I do not believe them at all. I believe that the movie was horrible, or at least that there were plenty of complaints, and I could believe it. The first Deadpool movie had how long to simmer in people's minds, in Ryan Reynolds' mind, in the original director's mind? How long did they have? They had forever to let that stew and try and make it a really great movie. And when they said, "Oh yeah, we're going to start another movie right now," really? So soon? You're not going to just think about it a little bit more? I was already nervous. So it could be good. It could be really good. But we also have this genuine article of a tweet that says otherwise. And they gave all the reason in the world. All the reason in the world for us to believe it. Okay, let's go back and check out some of these comments here. Blah, 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 blah. Spawn ripoff. Yes, it is a Spawn ripoff. but at the same time, you're saying Spawn ripoff, and Spawn is like the biggest ripoff character I have ever seen in the history of creation. So there's that. Are you ready for Century Ongoing? We'll see. We'll see if I'm ready for Century Ongoing. Century is one of those characters who we've always just seen him as, here's a short little run, a very short run of the Sentry, here you go. And then Sentry's like this backup character over here. Now, can they actually make Sentry awesome? Especially since the Doctor Strange comic showed us that the Void is completely devoid of Sentry. Like he's gone. He's history. He's permanently detached from him. It could be interesting. We'll see. Could they come up? They're going to have to come up with new villains for the Sentry. I don't know what they're going to do, but we basically have this guy, all right, who, for the most part, yeah, that's him. That's Sentry. You know what I'm saying? Sentry is Superman and vice versa. So can we actually see the Sentry pull off something really amazing? Depends. How much are they going to bite off of Superman? Because if they do, that would work. That could actually work. Spaceman Dawn, subscribe, and then maybe you can come over and see us live. Okay. Sorry, I just see somebody commenting on one of my Jonah Hex comment things. Oh yeah, guys, Jonah Hex explained in a minute, and spotlight on story for Jonah Hex No Way Back, which is a great origin story and so much more about Jonah Hex. Check it out. Just put him up today. Ron Lim for the win. Any thoughts on Detective Comics writer and Black Lightning